Welcome to High Stakes. I'm your host, Tracey Devlyn. On this show, I chat with authors about the moments in their stories that change everything, what's at stake, what it costs, and why we can't look away. From thrillers to romance to sci-fi and beyond. Let's get to it. Joining me today is author Caudle to talk about her dark fantasy romance, Worthy of Fate. Welcome to the show, Anne.
Hi, thank you.
Well, as an author, I noticed that you've had a fascinating journey that has brought you to this moment, and I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about how you came to be writing in this genre, and just, I guess, a little bit about your story becoming an author.
Yeah, so I started by reading in this in the fantasy romance genre, and like many others, I picked up a popular series and I fell in love with it. I had never read fantasy before ever, um, and that was in late 2022. And then voraciously reading all the time, and one day I had an idea pop up in my head that would not go away. So I decided to jot it down and just to get it out of my head and stop. I've never written anything in my life besides a couple college essays. And so I started jotting this idea down, and next thing I know, it had been 95 days and I had an entire book. And
Wow.
so
Wow.
that was how Worthy of Fate came to be. And I say about 10 months later, I independently published it. And then it did really, really well in the bookish community. And I was very, very lucky to be picked up with Ace in Berkeley.
Okay, great. No, that sounds amazing. We'll get into a little bit more about what that spark was that you were talking about that really got you going. But what year was this that you just started writing feverishly like that?
2023.
Okay, so very recent. Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'd only started writing, or I'd only started reading in late 2022, and the mid 2023, I just became a writer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's sometimes it happens like that, isn't it? Just getting yourself open to other things, where you have an opportunity to try new things, and sometimes that just clicks, and then it opens up a whole new world for you that way. So I guess whatever that, I'm really very curious. I want to ask you. I don't know if you'll tell us or not, but I want to know what that first romantasy series was that you read that really hooked you on this genre. Can you tell
Oh,
or?
yes, it's the basic answer for everybody. It's ACOTAR.
Oh yes. Yeah, that was my first intro to the genre as well, although it wasn't
It's
called romantasy at that time.
yeah, it's the gateway book
Yeah.
into fantasy romance. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's a master at it for sure.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Well, so that I don't do any spoilers with this book, which I think I could easily do, what can you tell us about Worthy of Fate?
So Worthy of Fate is about a girl named Kaya, and she is marked at birth to have to go compete in a trial of the gods whenever they call. They don't know when it's going to be. It's usually every 100-ish years, and she gets the call. She has to go through this trial and see if she can be deemed worthy or die.
Yeah.
And it's not really a spoiler. She does become worthy, and her god gives her a task to complete is solving this plague that's been going on, and nobody knows what has caused it, and it's getting worse, and it actually destroyed her entire nation. And
Hmm.
so while she's going on this journey to try to find some answers, she discovers she has a fated mate, but she is forbidden from being with him. And so it is about their journey together and how they can work together without putting everyone that they love and care about in danger.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's great. So what do you think it is about that concept of fated mates that captures so many readers' hearts out there?
I really think that it has to do that there is somebody who is divinely devoted to you, that they want you on, a level that is more than what we mere mortals, can experience. It's taking soulmates and putting it on steroids and making it, destined. So
Yeah.
I think that that's something, especially a lot of women, um, we long for that very much, being able to have someone who wants us on something more deeper than the surface level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that you know without an absolute doubt that that person's going to be there for you no matter what and die for
Yes,
you if need be and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. I love
yes,
that too. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's going to be, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, tough to talk about without spoiling anything. So I'm curious, would it be a spoiler for you to talk about your inspiration for, and I'm not sure if I'm going to say this correctly, Odorum? Odorum?
Odarum.
Odarum. Okay, thank you.
And no, I wouldn't. It's not spoilery to
Okay.
talk about him. He is the idea that came up that I couldn't let go of.
Okay.
I saw this winged horse, and I saw all these things that he was doing, and I could not get him out of my head. He was there. He was alive. And I know that sounds crazy, but
Mm-mm.
he was or is a person to me, or a
A
horse.
being.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is a
Yeah.
being that lives within me, and I had to start talking about him. And then as I started talking about him, Kaya was born,
Mm.
and he had this unimaginable connection to Kaya, and then, you know, and then Riker came along, and then the whole world just completely unfolded.
Oh,
So
cool.
Odaram didn't specifically come from one place. Um, I
He just showed
I
up. He
on
just showed up
He
in your
did. He really
imagination. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
he just showed up.
Yeah, yeah. That's really interesting, that this whole it's going to be a trilogy, I think I saw. So this whole
Mhm.
trilogy is based off of that one image that you had of this winged horse. I think that's really cool. That's amazing.
Yeah, he
Um,
is the inspiration for all of it.
so I, I guess whenever whenever he came to mind, did you sit down and write out his whole, like, say, backstory, as they say, like his whole, like, the very concept of him, and then it just kind of splintered off from there? Or did you just kind of mull it in your head a little bit and then Kaya showed up and then Riker showed up? Did you start writing it down and you got volumes of notebooks about all of this?
I do have a notebook and a very disheveled um, Google Doc that is just like word vomit. But no, I had a scene in my head, and so I just started writing the scene with him. So I know his backstory, like I know everything, but I haven't written it.
Okay. All right.
And it's something, even 3 years later, I haven't forgotten any of it. It's
Okay.
I know it. So yeah, it wasn't that I jotted it down and then built a world around it. It just came to be.
Yeah. Yeah, the world is so vivid, and it's amazing to me that you just I guess entered this kind of the genre with your reading back in, I think you said 22.
Mhm.
And I read voraciously for a year or so before you started writing, because you have so many elements built into this, with the politics and just the lore and the everyday life of this world. And is that something that just came naturally to you, or did you have to go out there and, okay, now I've got an idea here. How do I turn this into a book, and what do I have to know about this world? Was it was it organic, or did you have to dig in and figure it all out?
I mean, there were certain things that I did research and play with, but the majority of it just happened. And
Okay.
then I do have, alpha readers and beta readers and a developmental editor. So they would let me know, like, hey, this rule doesn't work because then this is negated. And I'm like, ah. So
Yeah,
you do have to make adjustments as you go when you find little plot holes and stuff like
yeah.
that in your writing. But overall, it was 100% organic. I did not sit down and plot it out. I do not have it written down anywhere like the rules of the world. I just know what they are.
And do you know what book two and three look like at this point? I mean, you probably have already written book two, but did you know when you were writing, what book two and book three were going to be? You know what I mean? Did you know that far
Yes.
out, or you just concentrated on book one and then you went from there, I guess.
So originally, Worthy of Fate was only supposed to be one book. It was supposed to be a standalone. And then, but as I wrote, I realized just how massive this world is.
Yeah.
Book two has already been written. I did self-publish it, and it is re-releasing in September. So that one has already done. I published it in December of 2024,
Okay.
and then just took it down in December of 2025.
So the ebooks are available now, but the print
Yes,
books, right, are what's releasing through Ace and Berkeley. Is that
yes,
how it
in
works?
September, and the
Okay, in
audiobook.
September. Okay, great.
Yep,
Oh, that'll be
yeah,
wonderful. Love audiobooks.
yeah, me
All right.
too. So
Well,
I did know what the story was going to be for book two, and I am currently writing book three. And this is a challenge for pantsers or discovery writers who don't plot.
yeah.
Is now I have to wrap all this up into book three.
Yeah.
And when I just kind of went into this willy-nilly, so we will all be surprised with book three. I'm right there with you. People will say, "Oh, I can't wait to find out what happens," and I'm like, Me either."
That's great. I love it. Well, if you come back, if you come back for book two, maybe we'll find out how book three went. How about that?
Hopefully, it should at least the first draft should be completed and off to editing by then.
All right, great. Well, on this show, we like to talk about the story stakes, and I always joke, love, death, the fate of the realm, they're all high stakes in a story. But what I'd like to hear your thoughts on are what's personally at stake for Kaya and Riker in this book if they don't succeed.
So Kaya has to have this task completed because it's killing the land, it's killing the people. It doesn't make any sense. So she has to solve it. Her God told her to. So she doesn't have a choice. She can't stop. And if she doesn't, it's the stake of the entire realm.
Hmm.
And but her bond with Riker, what's at stake is something even greater. So she can't, the gods have deemed that she needs to be with him, but their society has deemed that they're not allowed to be together because they're too dangerous as a pair.
Yeah.
And then for Riker, it's his entire nation that he is duty bound to and that he is loyal to. It's which is also being, ransacked by this plague whenever he does something wrong. So there's so much at stake, lives and their entire destiny is at stake for this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't recall if you mentioned this whenever you gave the description of the book, but Riker's a worthy too, and that's why the two
Yes.
of them together are, seen as a threat by this community, correct?
Yes. So
Yeah.
Riker is also a worthy and he has his own god that he has to obey. And he's also the lord of one of these nations that he has to protect, that he is completely responsible for. So he has a lot on his shoulders as far as, responsibility.
Right. Right. And he's been at it quite a long time now. Kai is new
Yeah.
to this. She just became a worthy, but he's been at it, was it 3 centuries? Do I have that correct?
Just about right
Okay.
around
Yeah,
300 years.
somewhere in there.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, he's fully invested in
Yes.
protecting his nation for sure.
Yeah.
Well, just to switch gears a little bit, whenever I was preparing for the interview, and I always do a little bit of research on my guest's website and social media and everything. I noticed a few recent Instagram posts where you revealed some facts about yourself. which I thought was like a brilliant way of humanizing yourself in this age of artificial intelligence, right? And so I was very curious. I wanted to ask, is that the reason you did it? Did that series of posts, or was it just to show off your beautiful new branding that you had?
Oh, are you talking about on the top of my Instagram?
Yeah, right now you have three posts that has
Yeah.
your name and the feather and your tagline on there, and it's really just really pretty. And
Yeah,
then in
so
the post you have several different, yeah.
yeah, no, I have that. So one, it's called a banner, an Instagram banner. So they're pinned because you're allowed to have three pinned posts. So anybody who goes to my page at any point until I take those pinned posts down will always say A and Caudle, and they can go in and they can find information about me, my books, where I'm going to be, like events and stuff like that.
Oh, I
So
did not re see. This is new information on Instagram for me. I did not realize you could do that. That's cool.
yeah, and I think that's been up for since January
No wonder you were so
ish.
confused. It was like, what are you talking about, Tracy?
I was like, what
Yeah,
did I post recently that was about me? I
that's
can't
funny.
remember.
So yeah,
But
so
yeah, no, I
it was
do.
just a fun way of getting new readers maybe to get to know you and things like that, sounds like then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we all like to know little tidbits of information
Yeah.
about people, and I want to offer that to others. And I'm just a person,
Yeah. No, I loved
I'm
it.
just
It
a
was very it made you very accessible. As a reader, it made you accessible. It made you, you sound fun and exciting and just and you didn't put just surface level information on there. You went a little deeper, into areas that some people might be uncomfortable with other people knowing about them. And I thought, like I said, it was a way of humanizing you in a really positive way. I thought was great.
oh, thank you.
There was one fact on there even that I guess stood out to me because I feel like it's me as well. I'm like this as well, is that uh I'll paraphrase this a little bit, but you had mentioned that you are really awkward but try to keep it cool in public. I don't know if you remember that or not. And I think a
Yep.
lot of authors are, and readers too. They struggle with this at conferences because I think we're all a little introverted that way. And I was curious, do you have any tips on how you go about conquering that awkwardness in public?
Um, stop. Um, so I wouldn't say like fake it till you make it or anything like that, but I am happy to be at a conference. Like I just finished a Polycon a few days ago. So I really do like seeing readers, and I don't know, maybe if it's my upbringing, but I try to compartmentalize a little bit to take away from everybody that's there because there are thousands of people. So like when somebody comes up to my table, I concentrate on the one person that is in
Mm,
front of me. I don't see my line. I don't see anything that's going on around me. It is me
hmm.
and one other person. So that helps, and that helps with the social fatigue, you know?
Yeah.
And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, by the end of the day, I go back to my hotel room and I just slump in
Yeah.
my bed and I just
Gotta
stare at a wall
recharge.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
but yeah, a lot of us readers are major introverts
Hmm.
and we don't want to be around people. That's why we have the fake one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I really do. I love meeting other authors and readers and people in
Yeah.
this industry. You know, you learn so much, and I get to have a connection with someone, and that feeds me, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, you're right. It is exhausting, but it's a good exhaustion. And I
Yes,
always come home feeling so energized and happy and just full of ideas. I don't, does that happen to you as well?
I have no ideas,
Oh,
none
no ideas.
whatsoever. No, my brain is blank. I need a few days to completely just
Oh,
recharge and um, but so no idea. I thought my first year or my first convention, I was like, oh, I'm gonna write in the evenings. It'll be fine. No.
Yeah,
That
yeah, it is. It's very taxing on the brain for sure.
very much so. Because I think it's different, different kinds of energy that it takes to be social that way,
Yeah.
rather than like how what the type of, we all have a certain level of mental energy. And so, that definitely drains it. So I have zero creativity and I just go doom scroll.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, of all the facts, and since you posted a few months ago, you might not remember, but of all the facts that you posted, what's one thing that readers might be or mo that might be they might be most surprised to learn about you at this point?
I don't remember everything I
And
said. I was,
you could just come up with whatever answer, whatever pops into mind. It doesn't have to be on that list.
uh,
So,
I don't know.
hate
I hate water. And that's
water.
something that I do. And I said that's something that I gave Kaya in Worthy of Fate is
That's
she
right.
has an aversion to water. I don't like swimming. I hate taking baths. I do bathe. Okay. I just don't want to.
That's
I
great.
just don't
I love it.
like I don't like physically being wet. I have no idea why I've been like that since I was young.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been a treat for your parents when come bath time and everything, huh? I bet.
I think I was okay when I was really little, but then I
Yeah.
hit, like preteen, teenage years, and I was like, no, I don't want to be.
That's great. That's great. Well, thanks for that. I always like to ask that question. It stumps everybody, but I always think it's kind of a fun question. All right. Well, before we go, can you share what's coming up next? We know that you're just put the finishing touches on book two. Are you working? If you go look at your website, it looks like you've got a lot of things in the works. So I don't know if you can talk about any of it or not.
Yeah, no. So I just released a standalone and then Worthy Fate release. And then book two, Bound by Fate, is releasing. And I have a lot of conventions and signing events this year. And then book three is on the way. And after that, I
Yeah.
get to go tackle one of the dozens of story ideas that I have.
All right, great, great. Well, folks, be sure to order your copy of Worthy of Fate today. You can learn more about AN by visiting her website at ancaudle.com, where you'll find all of her social media links, and be sure to sign up for her newsletter while you're there. AN, thank you so much for joining me. It was a real pleasure chatting with you today.
Well, thank you so much for having me on here.
That's it for today's high stakes story. Follow the show so the next episode lands right in your feed. And if you enjoyed today's chat, a quick rating or review helps new listeners find us. Visit tracydevlyn.com/podcast for show notes and links to today's amazing guest and their fabulous book. High Stakes is a proud member of the Authors on the Air Global Radio Network. Thanks for listening. Until next time, enjoy the adventure, everyone.